Hey everybody, Jim here with a follow-up video to my Atheist Question, where I pose a hypothetical scenario where the God of the Bible has been proven and asked the atheist, would you then go ahead and worship him? At the top of this video, I want to address an accusation that was thrown my way by 2 or 3 people. The accusation was that this was a loaded question, that this was a setup. I'm denying that. We could be mixing up our definitions and terms here, but the way I took that to mean is that I had a pre-planned response to whatever your answer was, that this was some kind of scenario where I set a trap or backed you into a corner, and then used your response to then pounce on you and say, aha, this is why you're wrong, this is the logical fallacy you've committed, and put a notch in my belt. The 3 people that accused me of this have been following me since 2007. So I took a little bit more offense to it than I would some of the newer folks here, many of which have recently subscribed, because it's never been my style to do something like that, and I would expect these 3 individuals to know that by now. It kinda, I don't want to be too sappy, but it kinda hurts my feelings. Even when the people that were coming at me are not necessarily Christians. Well, one of them is, 2 of them are not. I just feel like you should know me better than that. I don't have a pre-planned response. I'm looking to move a conversation that I have seen become very stagnant forward. Atheists and theists are constantly in this battleground, in this debate about the existence of God, and we never move forward to talk about the next step. The only way I can see doing that, since I'm not converting you guys by the hundreds, or vice versa, is to set up a hypothetical scenario and then ask as though the hypothetical is true, which is exactly what I tried to do here. So let's get to the tally of the results of the answers. First, I want to thank you for participating. Those of you that did, the atheists were Logical Statements 3, J. James 1916, Numfro 8523, WSXC. We've also got Gillum 89, and we've got MST3K. We got Pyramides Head, if I said that correctly, and then a few others that were commenting from a Christian standpoint. But I was asking atheists, so I'm going to just thank those of you that answered that are atheists. Not that I don't appreciate all commentary. The consensus is in. The number 1 answer, if I can sum it up to a very short yes or no, was no. And the primary follow-up to the no was because the God of the Bible is not one that you respect or think is a good God. There were a few of you, I think 2, that said yes, but it was a reluctant yes, and it was based on the idea that that the consequences for saying no were too heavy. I want to read you my favorite response of the ones that said yes. By Pyramides Head. I hope I'm saying that right. And I'm going to skip down to the part. I'm going to skip down. I'm not reading his whole comment. It says, well, I probably would do what he wanted me to do, not because I considered it to be the right thing to do. I still would consider him to be a prick for the rules he created, but I don't think I'd have the guts to stand up for my own convictions when there is my eternal life on the line. So probably obeying, but rather out of fear from the big bully than something else. Why is that my favorite comment? Well, there's a raw honesty there that's almost refreshing. I think even believers, myself included, is going to one day stand before God and be so in awe and in fear and just overwhelmed that my knees will be knocking and I will be speechless, even if there was something I've been dying to say to him. So there's a common thread there, even though my fear I don't believe is going to be based on the same factors as the atheists. I get it. That is a refreshingly honest answer. But most of you said no, and a few of you said a reluctant yes. So even the reluctant yeses kind of all come to the same conclusion, which is you have a big problem with the God of the Bible. You know, the only real response we as Christians can have to that, as humanity's advocate has tried to state in a few of the back and forths on this comment thread, is, well, maybe you don't understand the God of the Bible. I'm not going to get into that yet, though, because I have more questions for you, and I don't know that I can prove that to you. God's a relational God. The only way to know that He's different from your perceptions is to actually enter into a relationship with Him. But most of you won't do that until certain roadblocks are knocked out of the way, so we're kind of back at step one again. The only challenge I have to you, and this is the rhetorical part, I don't need a response to this, is your atheism truly based on the fact that there is zero evidence in this entire amazing universe that there's a possible creator? Or is it more so because you see the possible creator as presented in Christianity as a God that you patently reject? I don't need you to tell me. That's just a challenge to you. What is your atheism truly based on? What I'm challenging you with today to keep this conversation going, and based on your responses, is this set of questions. Feel free to continue using the text boxes with the 500 character limitation, or feel free to do a video response to this. Question 1. Is there any part of you that desires the existence of a creator? Why or why not? Question 2. If so, and since you clearly take issue with who you believe my God to be, what would your ideal God be like? Look forward to your responses.